students, first of all I welcome you all to my third video on the discussion of model paper 2. What we started in earlier videos, we finished two videos on model paper 2, is it not? We discussed 28 questions in previous videos of model paper 2. Now let us see question number 29, that is from part D of the question paper, question number 29 of the part D of the question paper. Yes, look at that question here. Calculate EMF of the cell for the reaction. When the reaction is given, when cell reaction is given, reaction between, that is magnesium and silver ions, that leads to, look at this, you're going to get Mg2 plus ions and of course 2Ag there. This is the cell reaction given. Observe here, magnesium undergoes oxidation, silver ions undergo reduction. That is, magnesium is anode, silver is cathode. In the galvanic cell that is prepared by connecting silver electrode and magnesium electrodes, is it not? And here standard electrode potential of silver is given, that is equal to plus 0.80 volts. This is given information. And standard electrode potential of magnesium is also given, that is equal to minus 2.37 volts. This is standard electrode potential of magnesium here. Apart from that, molar concentration of Mg plus 2 ions is given, that is equal to 0.001 molar. Yes. Then molar concentration of silver ions is given, that is equal to 0.001 molar. This is concentration of silver ions. Okay, now? And using this information, you are supposed to calculate EMF of the galvanic cell that involves the cell reaction that is given there, is it not? The formula, Nernst equation to calculate EMF of the cell, is it not? That is, E of cell is equal to E naught of cell minus 0.0591 and of course divided by N. That is at 298 kelvins, right? Log to the base 10 of, right? Molar concentration of products in the cell reaction, yes, divided by molar concentration of reactants in the cell reaction. This is the formula, yes. As far as this cell reaction is concerned, look here. E of cell is equal to, right, E naught of cell minus 0.0591 divided by N log to the base 10 of. Look at this. In this cell reaction, products are Mg plus 2 ions and silver. That is concentration of Mg plus 2 ions, right, divided by, yes, concentration of Mg plus 2 ions into concentration of silver, that is in solid state. The molar concentration of pure solids and liquids will be taken as 1. Hagagi, this is not required here, is it not? Molar concentration of silver solid is 1. This is product type. Reactants enide molar concentration of silver ions to the power 2, yes, into molar concentration of magnesium, that is solid. Okay? Molar concentration of magnesium solid is taken as 1. Hagagi illu kuda enagutte, molar concentration of magnesium solid not required. This is the formula that I can use in order to calculate cell potential for this reaction, is it not? In this reaction, in this formula, N is what? That is, you need to know N there, is it not? N is number of electrons exchanged between, yes, it is magnesium and silver ions. Here magnesium is converted to Mg plus 2 ion by losing 2 electrons. Those 2 electrons will be taken up by Ag plus ions. 1 Ag plus will gain 1 electron, 2 Ag plus ions will gain 2 electrons. Hagagi, number of electrons exchanged between magnesium and silver ions will be 2. Now molar concentration of Mg plus 2 is 0.001. That's equal to 10 to the power minus 3 molar. Molar concentration of silver ions is, that is 10 to the power of -4 molar ಹೌದಾ 0.001 ಅನ್ನ 10 to the minus 3 -4 molar ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ E naught of cell, you need to know the E naught of cell, that is E naught of cathode minus E naught of anode ಹೌದಾ ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂತ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ is equal to E naught of cathode minus E naught of anode. ಇಲ್ಲಿ cathode as silver ions ನೋಡಿ, the standard electrode potential of silver electrode is given, that is 0.80. ಇದು cathode ಅಲ್ವಾ silver ion ಅಲ್ಲಿ, silver ion is in the silver acts as a cathode here, magnesium acts as a anode ಹೌದಾ. silver electrode acts as a cathode and magnesium electrode acts as a anode. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ cathode standard electrode potential of cathode is 0.80 minus standard electrode potential for magnesium is minus 2.37 ಹೌದಾ. ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you are going to get yes it is the standard cell potential, that is 2.37, that is minus into minus plus ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ plus 0.80, is it not? That comes out to be 3.17. ಇದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್ ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ E naught of cell ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ that is 3.17 minus 0.0591 divided by 2 log to the base 10 of concentration of magnesium ions is 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by 10 to the power of minus 4 whole square ಹೌದಾ. ಓಕೆನಾ. 10 more minus 4 into ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 10 more minus 8 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, that is equal to yes 3.17 minus 0.0591 divided by 2 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 0.0295 ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಇದು log to the base 10 of 10 to the power minus ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ plus 8 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, that comes out to be 10 to the power of 5 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. log to the base 10 of 10 to the power of 5 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 5 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, that comes out to be 3.17 minus 0.0295 into 5 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ you are going to get the answer. This is the final answer in terms of volts. ನೋಡಿ 0.0295 into 5 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ 0.1475 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ 3.17 ಇಂದ ನೀವು ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it comes out to be, look at this, it comes out to be 3.0225. 3.0225. This is what we call it as that is E of cell. This is what we call it as E of cell is equal to 3.0225. This is the answer there. Okay na. Formula ಗೆ 1 mark ಇರ್ತದೆ, simplification and substitution 1 mark ಇರ್ತದೆ, final answer with unit is 1 mark. So total 3 marks here, that is 3.0225 volts. This is the, yes it is the calculation of cell potential for this particular, yes it is cell reaction. Agboudala, right? Note it down, right? Now come to the, yes it is 29B ಅಲ್ಲಿ, right? Any two factors affecting ionic conductance ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, right? Electrical conductivity of an electrolyte depends on different factors, and you are supposed to mention 2 factors that will decide ionic conductivity of electrolytic solution. And answer is the nature of electrolyte, or the temperature, viscosity of solvent, size of the ions, solvation of ions, and of course concentration of ions. These are the different factors which will be deciding ionic conductance of, yes it is electrolytic solutions. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, nature of electrolyte ಬಂದಾಗ ionic conductance of strong electrolytes will be relatively more compared to the ionic conductance of weak electrolytes for a given concentration. As the size of ions increases, ionic conductance decreases. As the extent of solvation of ion increases, size of the solvated ion increases, ionic conductance decreases. Nature of solvent alli, electrical conductance of electrolyte in polar solvents will be more compared to that in non-polar solvents. ಹೌದಾ? ಆಮೇಲೆ as viscosity of solvent increases, ionic conductance decreases, because as viscosity increases, mobility of ions decreases. ಹೌದಾ? mobility of ions decreases ಅಂದ್ರೆ electrolytic conductance also decreases. Temperature, as temperature increases, ionic conductance also increases, because when temperature is increased, kinetic energy of the ions increases, and thereby mobility of ions increases, and that results in increase in ionic conductance of electrolytic solution. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮೊಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಐನಿಕ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಾಲ್ವೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮೊಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಬೈ ionic conductance decreases. Okay na? So this is what we call it as the factors affecting on ionic conductance of electrolytic solutions. ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ಎರಡು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್, ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್, ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್, ಹೌದಾ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್, ಸಾಲ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್, ವಿಸ್ಕಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಎರಡು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್, ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 30 ನೋಡಿ. Derive integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. Quite expected question. Okay na? That is derivation of integrated rate equation for zero order adu barbodu, first order adu barbodu. Previous video dalli we discussed that is zero order reaction discuss ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ first order reaction discuss ಮಾಡೋಣ. Okay na? Derivation of integrated rate equation for first order reaction. Second ನೋಡಿ 30b ಅಲ್ಲಿ draw the graph of concentration of reactant versus time for zero order reaction. For the reaction, reactants gives products. What does intercept of the graph is indicate ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇದನ್ನ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಈಗ. ರೈಟ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆರಿವೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ರೇಟ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ತುಂಬಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ರೈಟ್, ನೋಡಿ, consider a first order reaction, that is for a first order reaction. Yes, that is or gives product. You know the first order reaction anta itkondre, right? You know that that is rate is equal to minus k into s. It is, that is rate is equal to s. It is dr divided by dt. Although this is what we call it as rate of a reaction. For the first order reaction, that's equal to minus k into r to the power 1. ಇದು ರೇಟ್ ಲಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಝೀರೋ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಪವರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 0 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್, ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೀರೈಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಆಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬನ್ನಿ. ಡಿ ಆರ್ ಬೈ ಆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಮೈನಸ್ ಕೆ ಇಂಟು ಡಿ ಟಿ. ಈ ತರ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಏನ್ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಸ್, ಓಕೆನಾ? ನೌ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಆಗ ನಾವು ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ಬೋತ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್. Integrate on both sides ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ that is integration of, yes, it is dr by r. Yes, that's equal to minus k integration of, yes, it is dt. Okay na? That is integration of 1 by r with respect to r ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, that is what we call it as ln. This is ln of concentration of r, because we have this formula, that is integration of 1 by x with respect to dx is ln x plus integration constant ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬರ್ತದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ 1 by x with respect to ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ln x ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ತರ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ 1 by r with respect to r is ln r. ಓಕೆನಾ? that's equal to integration of 1 ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಇದೆ ತಾನೆ, integration of 1 with respect to dt is t there plus integration constant I. ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಎಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಈ ತರ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ತಪ್ಪಲ್ವಾ? ಐ ಎನ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಇದು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದೇನು, ಎಲ್ ಎನ್ ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಈ ತರ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ln r is equal to kt and of course minus kt into plus I. ಹೌದಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ minus kt. ಓಕೆನಾ? And in order to determine integration constant value I, what you have to do is at time t equals 0, at time t equals 0 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, concentration of reactant is equal to initial concentration ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Concentration of reactant ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, that is equal to initial concentration ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, that is at time t equals 0. ಇವೆರಡನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ r ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಏನು ಹಾಕಬೇಕು, r ನಾಟ್ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. then that is ln r naught is equal to minus k into 0. ಯಾಕೆ t equals 0 ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, that is plus I ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. so I is equal to what, therefore I is equal to ln of course r naught ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. yes, ln r naught ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. yes, ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂವನ್ನು you just call it as equation 1. then substitute yes in equation 1 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, that is ln r naught is equal to s, ಓಕೆನಾ, minus kt plus ln, yes it is ln r is equal to equation ನೋಡಿ, ln r is equal to minus kt plus I ಬದಲಾಗೇನು ln r naught ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. yes, ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ರಿಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೈನಸ್ kt ಈಚೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬನ್ನಿ, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವಾಗ kt is equal to ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ln r naught ಮೈನಸ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಈಚೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬನ್ನಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ln ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ r ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. yes, just equation ರಿಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ. then kt is equal to yes ln a minus ln b ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ln a by b ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ln r naught divided by ln r, that is log a minus log b is equal to what, log a by b ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ln r naught by ln r ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. yes, therefore k is equal to 1 by t ln, yes it is r naught divided by r. ln means log to the base e ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ, natural logarithm 1 by t log to the base e of, yes it is r naught divided by r, molar concentration of, that is initial concentration of reactant, this is concentration of reactant at a time t. yes, okay na. and of course ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಈ log to the base ನ log to the base 10 ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ k is equal to 2.303, that is by time. ಹೌದಾ, if I multiply this equation by 2.303 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, log to the base is converted into log to the base 10 and that is r naught divided by r. this is what we call it as integrated rate equation for first order reaction. but ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is r naught is initial concentration of reactant and r is concentration of reactant at time t ಅಂತ ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್. r naught ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನದು, initial concentration of reactant, ಅಂದ್ರೆ concentration of reactant in the beginning of the reaction, that is before the commencement of chemical reaction. this is concentration of reactant after a time t seconds. so this is r and r naught. okay, this is time, t is a time, of course. k is a rate constant of a first order reaction, that is k is what, that is rate constant of yes it is first order reaction, rate constant of first order reaction. this is what we call it as yes it is derivation of integrated rate equation for first order reaction. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಬರ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಎಸ್, ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡೋದು. ಎಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, dr by r is equal to minus k into dt ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. r ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಇನ್ನು ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಐ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಟಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ 0 ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು. ಟೈಮ್ ಟಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ 0 ಹಾಕ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಟಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 0. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಡಿ, ನಾನೇನು PDF ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬೇಡಿ. ಬರೀ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಈ ತರ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡ್ ಆಗಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ as yes, it is derivation of integrated rate equation for first order reaction. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. Yes. So we'll go to the next question. Yes. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆ, draw the graph of the concentration of reactants versus time for a zero order reaction. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, that is for a zero order reaction. For a zero order reaction, that is concentration of reactant is equal to, yes it is R naught, yes it is minus KT ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. This is the equation, you know. Yes, ಈ equation ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ rewrite ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ R is equal to minus KT plus initial concentration of reactant ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. This is for zero order reaction. R is the concentration of reactant at a time. R naught is initial concentration. K is a rate constant of a zero order reaction. Okay na? ನೋಡಿ ಈ equation ಹೇಗಿದೆ, this is of the type mx plus c ತರ ಇದೆ. y is equal to mx plus c ಅನ್ನೋದು equation of straight line. If I plot a graph of y against x, you are going to get a straight line. Your y is, what is that? Concentration of reactant. ಹೌದಾ? x is time. ಹೌದಾ? ನೋಡಿ ಈ equation ಗೆ ಎರಡು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇದೆ. ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ this is a graph you are getting. This is a graph that you are getting for negative slope. Yes. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ this is slope is, yes it is, ನೋಡಿ slope is what? Minus k. That is slope is minus k, rate constant of a zero order reaction. Intercept, ನೋಡಿ c is intercept, that is this is intercept. ಹೌದಾ? That is what? Initial concentration of reactant. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ intercept ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಡಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ intercept of the graph indicates what? That is initial concentration of reactant. This is the intercept. Slope of the graph andre, that is minus k. Okay, now this is what we call it as the graphical representation of integrated rate equation for zero order reaction. Agudana, a straight line with negative slope, right? If I plot graph of r versus r time, we're going to get a straight line with negative slope, where intercept is c is intercept, r naught. This is the intercept, yes, that is r naught. Agudana, so this is what we call it as the question number 30. Agudana, look at the question number 31 there. This is from surface chemistry, 5 mark question. State Hardy-Sulzer rule among Va2 plus Al3 plus and Na plus ions. Which ion has greater flocculation power for a given negative sol antide. 31p ಅಲ್ಲಿ what is peptidization, what is the cause for peptidization antide, 2 mark question. ಆಮೇಲೆ 31c ಅಲ್ಲಿ write the expression for Freundlich adsorption ಎಷ್ಟು ಟರ್ಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 1 mark ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? First we'll see that what is that Hardy-Sulzer rule. And as far as Hardy-Sulzer rule is concerned, I can make use of this rule in order to compare coagulating power of coagulating ion for a given sol. According to Hardy-Sulzer rule, the ability of coagulating ion to coagulate a sol is directly proportional to charge possessed by the coagulating ion. As the charge possessed by the coagulating ion increases, its ability to bring about coagulation of a given sol increases. Greater the charge possessed by the coagulating ion, greater will be its ability to bring about coagulation. And in the sub question, look at this, we have Na plus ion, Ba2 plus ion and Al3 plus ion. These are the coagulating ions. Among these 3 ions, you know, according to Hardy-Sulzer rule, the coagulating ability or coagulating power of Al3 plus ion is more, because charge possessed by the aluminum is more compared to the barium. Charge possessed by the barium is more compared to the sodium. Therefore, coagulating power of Na plus is less than Ba2 plus, coagulating power of Ba plus 2 is less than Al3 plus. That is according to Hardy-Sulzer rule. Al3 plus ion has got the highest coagulating power for a given negative sol. ಅದೇ for a given positive sol ಈ ions ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ Cl minus SO4 minus 2 ಓಕೆನಾ and of course PO4 minus 3 ಈ ತರ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ions ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. That is once again I can make use of this Hardy-Sulzer rule to compare the coagulating power. That is for a given positive sol coagulating power of Cl minus is less than SO4 2 minus. The coagulating power of SO4 2 minus is less than PO4 3 minus. This is for a yes it is positive sol and this is for a yes it is negative sol. Howda? So this is what we call it as yes it is Hardy-Sulzer rule. Statement ಗೆ 1 mark ಇರ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ just by writing Al3 plus ion its coagulating power is highest according to Hardy-Sulzer rule. Al3 plus ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ 1 mark, Hardy-Sulzer rule statement ಬರೆದ್ರೆ 1 mark. ಓಕೆನಾ? What is peptidization ಅಂತ ಇದೆ? That is peptidization is a process of converting freshly prepared precipitate into colloidal solution by mixing it with dispersion medium in presence of small amount of electrolyte. That is what we call it as peptidization. The process of converting freshly prepared precipitate into colloidal solution by mixing it with dispersion medium in presence of small amount of electrolyte. What is the cause for peptidization ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ imagine this is one yes it is this is one freshly prepared precipitate ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ say for example this is silver iodide. This is freshly prepared precipitate of silver iodide. To this silver iodide if I add a suitable electrolyte like silver nitrate ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. This is a silver nitrate. When small amount of silver nitrate is added to this silver iodide, what happens? Adsorption of Ac plus. Adsorption of Ac plus, and that is Ac plus is common to silver iodide alva. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ adsorption of Ag plus ions over the silver iodide precipitate takes place. See ನೋಡಿ, there is a formation of layer of silver charges. There is a formation of layer of silver charges. Okay na? There is a formation of layer of silver charges over the surface of freshly prepared precipitate. Itana a layer of similar charges create ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Because of that, look at this between these two layers, there is a repulsion. There is a repulsion between the yes it is layers of similar charges. That repulsion leads to breaking of bigger particles into smaller particles of colloidal size. So that results in coagulation. That is peptidization. The main cause for the peptidization is formation of layer of similar charges over the surface of colloidal particles due to the adsorption of common ion on the surface of freshly prepared precipitate. So that is the answer. Okay na? And 31C nodi, that is right the expression for Freundlich adsorption isotherm antide. That is mathematical expression you are supposed to write. X by m is equal to k into p to the power of 1 by n. This is the mathematical expression for Freundlich adsorption isotherm. And of course, as far as n is concerned, n is always greater than 1. And of course, as far as the X by m is concerned, that is amount of gas adsorbed per unit mass of adsorbent. X by m is the amount of gas adsorbed per unit mass of adsorbent. Okay, na? With respect to the adsorption of gases on the solid surfaces. K is a constant, n is a constant, P is a equilibrium pressure. ಹೌದಾ? ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ look at this if 1 by n is equal to 0 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, if 1 by n is equal to 0 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, then x by m is equal to ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, k ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If 1 by n is equal to 0 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, x by m is equal to k ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Means the extent of adsorption is independent of pressure. ನೋಡಿ, RHS ಅಲ್ಲಿ pressure term ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ the extent of adsorption is independent of pressure. That is at higher pressure. That is at high pressure ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, extent of adsorption is independent of pressure. And for that purpose, 1 by n is equal to 0 here. ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ if 1 by n is equal to 1 ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, then x by m is equal to k into p to the power of 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 1 by n is equal to 1 ಆದ್ರೆ ಆಗೇನಾಯ್ತು, that is x by m is directly proportional to pressure. That is, as pressure increases, extent of adsorption of gases on the solid surfaces also increases. This is at low pressure. This is at low pressure. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನೋಡಿ, if I plot the graph of x by m versus pressure at constant temperature ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, we're going to get a graph like this. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು, ಇದು low pressure area. As pressure increases, x by m increases. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು high pressure area. X by m remains same even though pressure increases. So this is what we call it as Freundlich adsorption. ಇಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು mathematical expression ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಓಕೆನಾ? So this is what we call it as the Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Yes. Now let us see. That is question number 32. Part DLE section 5. This is organic chemistry part complete ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? 6 questions ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? 4 questions ಅನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Each question carries 5 marks. ಓಕೆನಾ? 32 it is always from haloalkanes and haloarenes ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, 32 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ SN1 ಅಥವಾ SN2 ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಬಂದೇ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ 32 A ನೋಡಿ, right? SN2 mechanism for the hydrolysis of chloromethane. That is question number 32. Yes, SN1 mechanism for the SN2 mechanism for the hydrolysis of chloromethane. 2 mark question. Haloarenes are least reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. Give reasons. 2 mark question ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನೀವು 2 reasons ಅನ್ನು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. Yes. What is the effect of branching on the boiling point of isomeric haloalkanes ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. So what happens to the boiling point of haloalkanes if branching increases? So ಅದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, that is as far as SN2 mechanism is concerned. ಹೌದಾ? SN2 mechanism ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ that is for the hydrolysis of chloromethane ಅಲ್ವಾ? This is for the hydrolysis of chloromethane. Cl minus is replaced by OH, and of course this is what we call it as hydrolysis of chloromethane. Chloromethane undergoes hydrolysis to give methyl alcohol. As far as rate is concerned, rate is equal to K into, yes, it is chloromethane to the power 1, OH minus to the power 1. Howda? Because it is SN2 mechanism, order of reaction is 2. Rate of reaction is directly proportional to first power of concentration of chloromethane and first power of concentration of OH minus ions. Therefore, order of reaction is that's equal to 1 plus 1, that's equal to 2 there. Howda? You know, SN2 mechanism is a single step mechanism. Yes, this is a single step mechanism. Only one step is involved. That involves transition state. That is single step mechanism. Single step mechanism involves formation of transition state. Involves the formation of transition state. SN1 adre that involves the formation of carbocation. You know, chloromethane ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, look at this OH minus, right? Reacts with, yes, it is chloromethane. I just write like this. This is chloromethane. Yes, this is chloromethane. Other chloromethane is attacked by, yes, it is nucleophile OH minus. From the side, yes, it is from the rear side opposite to the leaving group. You know, this leads to, right? This leads to, look, this is, chlorine is more electronegative than carbon. Therefore, chlorine gets negative charge, partial negative charge, and carbon gets partial positive charge. OH minus attacks carbon there. Yes. ನೋಡಿ, OH minus ಅನ್ನ carbon attack ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ O has to be connected to, yes, it is carbon, and that leads to, yes, it is, look at this transition state. Due to the attack of nucleophiles, you know, then that orientation of hydrogen atoms attached to the carbon will be changed. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Orientation will be changed like this. This is, okay na? As the nucleophilic attack continues, you know, that the bond between, yes, it is chlorine and carbon ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Weak ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. And that leads, you know, at this particular stage, you know, this is what we call it as transition state. In transition state, you know, the carbon to chlorine bond is 50% broken and 50% formed. Here it is, oxygen to carbon bond is 50% formed and highly energetic, and of course it is highly energetic and it is unstable. This is what we call it as transition state, and it decomposes to form, look at this, this is the product, and of course along with the formation of Cl minus, this is methanol athwa methyl alcohol, this is chloromethane. Yes, This is chloromethane. It will be converted to methanol. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. In the case of SN2 mechanism, configuration is inversed. ಹೌದಾ? ಈ configuration ನೋಡಿ. Look at this. ಈ ತರ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ configuration ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ. Bonds are projecting like this. ಹೌದಾ? ಈ ತರ ಇತ್ತು configuration. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಫಿಲಿಕ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಈ ತರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಹೀಗಿದ್ದೇನಾಯ್ತು? ಹೀಗಾಯ್ತು. ಹೌದಾ? Look at this. This point you have to observe. Okay, now this is what we call it as SN1 mechanism for the it is hydrolysis of chloromethane. Yes, so this is what we call it as the SN2 mechanism. Very important. Either SN1 or SN2 that you can expect. Okay, now in almost all question papers ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು SN1 ಆದ್ರೂ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ SN2 ಆದ್ರೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. SN2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ hydrolysis of chloromethane ಬರುತ್ತೆ. SN1 ಆದ್ರೆ hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide ಬರುತ್ತೆ. hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮುಂದಿನ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್. ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ. ನೋಡಿ, ಓ ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, OH ಮೈನಸ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. OH ಅನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ O to C, ನಾಟ್ H to C. ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗತ್ತೆ. H ಅನ್ನ C ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ O to C ಅಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬರೀರಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀರಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್. ಓಕೆನಾ? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಮೈನಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಮೈನಸ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. ಇದು ರೈಟ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್. OH ಮೈನಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಇಸ್ 2. ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪವರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ 2 there. So this is what we call it as SN2 mechanism for the hydrolysis of chloromethane. Agudana? Let us see that next question there. That is, haloarenes are least reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. As you know that in the case of haloarenes, halogen is directly attached to the benzene ring. ಹೌದಾ? haloarenes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, look at this. This is haloarene. This is haloarene. ಆದ್ರೆ halo alkane ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ನೋಡಿ, ಎರಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ haloarene ಅಲ್ಲಿ halogen is directly attached to benzene ring. Due to resonance, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? There is a partial double bond character between. Yes, it is halogen and carbon. ಹೌದಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Due to resonance, that is CX bond acquires partial double bond character. ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? If the double bond character is there between carbon and chlorine, then that requires more energy for its cleavage. The bond enthalpy of CX bond increases. In the case of haloalkanes, CX bond is, there is a single bond between carbon and halogen. No partial double bond character here because resonance is not there here, but here due to resonance, CX bond acquires partial double bond character. That requires more energy for its cleavage. That is one reason for least reactivity of haloarenes towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. In the case of haloarenes, halogen is directly attached to the sp2 hydrocarbon atom, whereas in the case of haloalkanes, halogen is directly attached to the sp3 hydrocarbon atoms. The electronegativity of sp2 hydrocarbon atom is more compared to the electronegativity of sp3 hydrocarbon atom. Hagagi, due to high electronegativity of sp2 hydrocarbon atom, that holds the halogen atom more tightly. More electronegative sp2 hydrocarbon atom holds the halogen more tightly than less electronegative sp3 hydrocarbon atom. That is second reason. Third reason is phenyl carbocation is unstable. Phenyl carbocation that is produced due to the cleavage of CTX bond. E bond another break adre you got this. Yes, it is phenyl carbocation. That phenyl carbocation is not stabilized by resonance. So because of these three reasons, haloarenes are least reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. Athava haloarenes do not undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions easily because of the partial double bond character between C2X bond in haloarenes, and X is attached to the more electronegative sp2 hydrocarbon atom in haloarenes. And third reason is instability of phenyl carbocation. This is phenyl carbocation. Yes. So this is the three reasons, but you are supposed to write only two reasons, right? ಈಗ ಬನ್ನಿ, what is the effect of branching on boiling point of isomeric haloalkanes? Look at this. Let me take some examples for the isomeric haloalkane. This is 1 bromobutane, yes, and its isomer is 2 bromobutane, yes, this is its isomer 2 bromobutane. Another is look at this 2 methyl 2 bromopropane. This is all these three compounds are isomers. They are having same molecular formula. Okay, na? No branching. Branching is there and more branching. If I move from here to here, branching increases. As branching increases, surface area decreases. As branching increases, molecule becomes more and more spherical. The surface area, if surface area decreases, van der Waals force of attraction decreases, and thereby boiling point also decreases. As branching increases, boiling points decreases. Look at this. Boiling point of this 1 bromobutane is greater than boiling point of this, and boiling point of this will be greater than this. Okay na? This example I thought you but nimage kelirodu prashne enappa andre what is the effect of branching on boiling point of haloalkanes anta kelidre adu cancer istene. As branching increases, boiling point decreases. ನೀವೇನು ಇದನ್ನು ಬರೆಯೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 33 ನೋಡಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ alcohols, phenols and ethers chapter ಇಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. How does phenol react with concentrated nitric acid? Write equation. Explain preparation of methoxyethane by Williamson's ether synthesis. Phenol is more acidic than ethanol. Give reason ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ how does phenol react with concentrated nitric acid ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Right? We'll answer this question. When phenol reacts with yes, it is the concentrated nitric acid HNO3. This is concentrated nitric acid. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ phenol is highly reactive towards electrophilic substitution reactions due to the electron releasing effect of Weierstrass. Look at this tri-substitution takes place over the benzene ring, and that leads to the formation of yes, it is tri-substituted product, what we call it as picric acid athwa 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. This is what we call it as 2,4,6 trinitrophenol athwa picric acid. ನಾನು ಗಮನಿಸಿದಂಗೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ನೈಟ್ರೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ನ ಬೆಂಜಿನ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ connect nitro group to benzene through nitrogen. Yes, a nitro group on a benzene connect madbekare you connect it through nitrogen. Yes, this is 2,4,6 tribromophenol, a trinitrophenol, athwa it is called as picric acid. Yes, that is when phenol reacts with concentrated nitric acid, you are going to get picric acid athwa 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Write equation anta kelidike idu baribeku. Equation carries 1 mark, statement carries 1 mark. Okay na? ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸಾರಿ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ನೈಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಆನ್ ಫಿನಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ನೈಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಫಿನಾಲ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಥೋನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರೋದೇನು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ನೈಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನೇ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಥಾಕ್ಸಿಈಥೇನ್ ಬೈ ವಿಲಿಯಮ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಈಥರ್ ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್. ಸೊ ವಿಲಿಯಮ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಈಥರ್ ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, when haloalkane, this is haloalkane, when it reacts with sodium alkoxide, that leads to RO R dash plus NaX. Okay, this is what we call it as Williamson's ether synthesis. ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು how do you prepare methoxyethane? ಇದು methoxyethane. Yes, how do you prepare methoxyethane? ಮೆಥಾಕ್ಸಿಈಥೇನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಮೆಥಾಕ್ಸಿಈಥೇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ NA ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನೋಡಿ, ಆರ್ ಬದಲಾಗಿ CH3 ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ ಆರ್ ಬದಲಾಗಿ CH3 ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಬ್ರೋಮೋಮೀಥೇನ್, ಆರ್ ಡಾಶ್ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಏನು, ಎಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ NaOC2H5 ಅಲ್ವಾ. And of course look at this, when bromomethane reacts with sodium methoxide, you are going to get methoxyethane plus NaBr. Yes, it is. We are going to get NaBr. It is when bromomethane reacts with sodium methoxide, methoxyethane is obtained. Illondre hige baribodu ನೋಡಿ. That is when Bromoethane reacts with sodium methoxide, then you are going to get yes it is ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮೆಥಾಕ್ಸಿ ಈಥೇನೆ, ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಮೆಥಾಕ್ಸಿ ಈಥೇನೆ. ನೀವು ಬ್ರೋಮೋಮೀಥೇನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಮಿಥಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಬ್ರೋಮೋ ಈಥೇನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಮೆಥಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೂಟಬಲ್ ಆರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನು? ವ್ಯಾನ್ bromomethane reacts with sodium methoxide, methoxyethane is obtained ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಎಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಫಿನಾಲ್ is more acidic than ethanol. Give reason. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದೆ ಫಿನಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಜನರಲಿ more acidic than alcohols. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ರೀಸನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. Look at this. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ look at this. This is phenol. Yes. Alcohol ಬಂದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ this is alcohol, this is alcohol. You know that is acidity depends on, yes it is the strength of OH bond. ಹೌದಾ? The strength of OH bond in alcohols and phenols. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ when phenol, yes it is loses H plus ion, it will be converted into, yes it is phenoxide. It will be converted into phenoxide, and this phenoxide is stabilized by resonance. Now when ethanol loses H plus ion, it will be converted to ethoxide. This is not stabilized by resonance. Howda? Phenoxide is stabilized by resonance, but ethoxide is not stabilized by resonance. The answer is phenol is more acidic than alcohol or ethanol because phenoxide formed due to the dissociation of phenol is stabilized by resonance. Therefore, phenoxide is more stable than ethoxide. That's why phenol is more acidic than ethanol. ಇದು 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ರೀಸನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, in phenol OH is directly attached to the sp2 hybridized carbon atom. ಹೌದಾ? ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ OH group is directly attached to the sp3 hybridized carbon atom. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ sp2 hybridized carbon atom is more electronegative than sp3 hybridized carbon atom. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ because of its high electronegativity of sp2 hybridized carbon atom, OH bond strength decreases. The second reason ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀಸನ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, because of this resonance, lone pair of electrons OH ಮೇಲೆ resonance ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, that increases. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಾ? Look at this. Due to resonance in phenol, phenol undergoes charge separation. ಈ resonance ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, phenol ಅಲ್ಲಿ charge separation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Phenol undergoes charge separation. ಹೌದಾ? Because of this charge separation ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, OH bond becomes weak and thereby ability of releasing H plus ions increases. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ no resonance in ethanol. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸುಮಾರು ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬಹುದು, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಬರೀರಿ. The phenoxide formed due to the dissociation of phenol is stabilized by resonance. Therefore, phenoxide is more stable than ethoxide. Therefore, phenol is more acidic than ethanol ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. Yes. Next one. Question number, yes it is 34 and 35. These two questions are from the same chapters. ಈ ವರ್ಷ ನಿಮಗೆ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 34 ಏನಿದೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಆಲ್ಡಿಹೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೀಟೋನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 35 ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಕಾರ್ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಲಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬರ್ತದೆ. 34 ಏನ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ರೋಸನ್ಮುಂಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೆಂಜಾಯಿಲ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್. 2 ಮಾರ್ಕು. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಆನ್ ಇಥನಾಲ್? ನೇಮ್ ದ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. Which oxidizing agent is used in Itard's reaction? Okay, not 2 plus 2 plus 1 type question. Explain Rosenmund reaction of benzoyl chloride. No acid chlorides. This is benzoyl chloride. This is benzoyl chloride. Yes. When it is undergoing hydrogenation in presence of, yes it is palladium supported over, yes it is barium sulfate. Hydrogenation takes place, that leads to what? Benzaldehyde plus HCl, and of course this is Rosenmund's reaction. This is Rosenmund's reaction. Howda? Explanation 1 mark and equation 1 mark. This is benzoyl chloride undergoes hydrogenation to give. This is benzaldehyde in presence of palladium supported over barium sulfate. ಹೌದಾ? ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, what is the action of dilute sodium hydroxide on ethanol? ನೋಡಿ, I can write, yes it is I can write ethanol. Look at this. Acetaldehyde, ethanol andre, right? And this is what we call it as ethanol. Idu ethanol, hauda? When ethanol reacts with dilute solution of sodium hydroxide, yes, dilute solution of sodium hydroxide, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Aldol condensation takes place. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. Aldol name the reaction ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರೀಬೇಕು? Aldol condensation takes place. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ? Aldol condensation is shown by aldehydes and ketones which contain alpha hydrogen. ಹೌದಾ? ಇಲ್ಲೂ alpha hydrogen ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ alpha hydrogen ಇದೆ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನ you add it across the double bond. ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಗೆ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು H ಪ್ಲಸ್, ಇದು CH2 ಮೈನಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ CH2 ಮೈನಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? CH2 ಮೈನಸ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ C ಪ್ಲಸ್ here, H ಪ್ಲಸ್ attacks O minus here. ಹಾಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, this is CH3 and it is OH. ಹೌದಾ? This is H as it is CH2 attacks carbon. ಹಾಗೆ ನೋಡಿ, this is CH2 and of course C double bond OH. ಈ ತರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಇದು CH2 minus, ಇದು H plus, minus attacks plus, plus attacks minus ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದ್ರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ when it is heated, ಇದನ್ನ ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ OH minus and H plus ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ವಾಟರ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, minus H2 ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಉಳಿತದೆ CH3, CH double bond CH and of course C double bond OH and of course this is what we call it as butadienol. ಏನಿದು? butadienol ಅಥವಾ crotonaldehyde. This is what we call it as equation for the action of dilute sodium hydroxide on, yes it is ethanol ಅಥವಾ acetaldehyde. This is yes it is ethanol. ಇದು yes it is 1 2 3 4 ಅಲ್ವಾ? butadienol, yes, 1 2 3, yes, and of course this is 3 hydroxy, yes it is butanol, 3 hydroxy butanol, yes. So this is what we call it as aldol condensation, yes. Which oxidizing agent is used in Ittard's reaction ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೇನೆ, chromyl chloride carbon disulfide. ಹೌದಾ? chromyl chloride carbon disulfide is yes it is oxidizing agent used in, yes it is conversion Ittard's reaction. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ Ittard reaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ toluene will be converted to benzaldehyde, that is CrO2Cl2 in carbon disulfide ಅಥವಾ chromyl chloride in carbon disulfide. Chromyl chloride in carbon disulfide, yes. Question number 35 ನೋಡಿ, yes. How are carboxylic acids prepared from nitriles? 35B ಅಲ್ಲಿ how is benzamide obtained from benzoic acid? ಎರಡು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಎರಡು ಕೂಡ. Identify the reagent A in the given reaction. ಹೌದಾ? ನೋಡಿ, and as far as preparation of carboxylic acids from nitriles is concerned, nitriles can be converted into carboxylic acids by hydrolysis, acid hydrolysis or base hydrolysis. ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು nitrile, ಇದು cyanides. Look at this. If nitriles undergo, yes it is acid hydrolysis or base hydrolysis, just add water across the triple bond. Aga you're going to get, yes it is ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ amides you are going to get, yes you are going to get amides. O ನ C ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, H2 ನ N ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಆಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ NH2CO ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And of course if it undergoes further hydrolysis, acid hydrolysis or base hydrolysis, you just remove ಮಾಡಿ, ammonia remove ಮಾಡಿ, you will have with what, yes it is or C double bond OH plus NH3 there. This is yes it is nitrile, this is amide and of course this is carboxylic acid. ಹೌದಾ? This is carboxylic acid. ಹೌದಾ? The main purpose of using acid is to remove ammonia here, so that you can make this equilibrium to be shifted in forward direction. So this is what we call it as conversion of nitriles into carboxylic acids. How is benzamide is obtained ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ. You know this benzoic acid, this is benzoic acid. When it reacts with ammonia, ammonia is a base, benzoic acid is an acid, acid base reaction takes place. Acid H plus ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, base H plus ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ, then you are going to get ammonium benzoate. Then you are going to get ammonium benzoate. This is ammonium benzoate barate. When this ammonium benzoate is heated, yes, heat ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ it loses water. Okay na? ಇದರಿಂದ water ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಡಿ NH4 ಇಂದ water ತೆಗೆದು ಉಳಿಯೋದೇನು? Then you are going to get yes benzamide here plus water. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ವಾಟರ್ H2O ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಉಳಿಯೋದೇನು? NH4 ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, O ಮೇಲೆ ಮೈನಸ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. This is yes, it is benzamide. This is benzoic acid. When benzoic acid reacts with ammonia, you are going to get ammonium benzoate, which upon heating produces benzamide. Yes, equation ge 1 mark, statement ge 1 mark, total 2 marks. Okay na? And identify the reagent A in the following reaction. Nodi, on the reaction kottidare alli RCOOH is converted to primary alcohol. Yes, A anta kottidare. Identify the reagent A here. Hauda? Nimage gottide? Direct conversion of carboxylic acids into primary alcohols can be brought about by lithium aluminum hydride followed by hydrolysis. Okay na? When lithium aluminum hydride is used as a lithium aluminum hydride. Name ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ name ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Lithium aluminum hydride. Lithium aluminum hydride. Okay na? ಅಥವಾ LiAlH4. Yes, followed by hydrolysis. That is 1 mark question. Yes. ಈಗ ಬನ್ನಿ 36 ಬನ್ನಿ. 36 ಬಂದು it is from the chapter amines. Look at that first question here. What is the IUPAC name of the product formed when aniline reacts with bromine water at room temperature? Okay. And write the equation for the reaction. Ready? When aniline, aniline is highly reactive towards electrophilic substitution reaction. When it reacts with bromine water, this is bromine water. Tri-substitution takes place. This is aniline. All the 3 hydrogen atoms are replaced by bromine there. Electrophilic substitution reaction at ortho and para positions. This is 2,4,6 tribromoaniline and of course plus 3 HBr. This is 2,4,6 tribromoaniline. This is what we call it as the equation there. Second question, ready? 1 more question. Arrange the following amines in the increasing order of their basic strength in aqueous solutions. Illi CTH5 NH2 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Yes. CTH5 thrice N ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಇನ್ನೊಂದು CTH5 twice NH ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. You have to arrange them in the increasing order of their basic strength. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ವಿಯಸ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 3 ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನ. ಒಂದು ಇಂಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೆರಿಕ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೆನ್ಸ್. ಈ 3 ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಕ್ವಿಯಸ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್. If it is in gas phase, very easy. In gas phase, only inductive effect will decide. In gas phase, that is primary amines will be less basic than secondary amines. Secondary amines will be less basic than tertiary amines. Gas phase, but ಇಲ್ಲಿ aqueous solution ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ because of the combined effect of inductive effect, hydration effect and steric factors, ಈ 3 effects result ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ that is ethylamine to be less basic than yes it is triethylamine. It will be less basic than yes it is diethylamine. And secondary amines are generally more basic. Okay na? So ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು R group change ಆದರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ethylamine ಗೆ this is the order. That is primary ethylamine is less basic than triethylamine. It will be less basic than diethylamine. ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಿಥೈಲಮೈನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇಥೈಲಮೈನ್ ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬನ್ನಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ Hinsberg's reagent? Differentiate primary and secondary amines using Hinsberg's reagent. Hinsberg's reagent ಅಂದ್ರೆ benzene sulfonyl chloride is called Hinsberg's reagent. That is Hinsberg's reagent. that is benzene sulfonyl chloride. Benzene sulfonyl chloride is called Hinsberg's reagent. And this is the formula of benzene sulfonyl chloride. I can make use of this benzene sulfonyl chloride to differentiate primary and secondary amines. So then we look at this. Say for example, this is primary amine, alva? When benzene sulfonyl chloride reacts with primary amine, we are going to get a product. ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. ಇದು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಅಮೈನ್. ಗಮನಿಸಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಅಮೈನ್. when benzene sulfonyl chloride reacts with primary amine, this is the product. This product is soluble in alkali. This product is soluble in base. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸಿ. there is one hydrogen that is directly attached to nitrogen which is acidic in nature. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ due to electron withdrawing effect of S double bond O. ಈ ಎರಡು electron withdrawing groups ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, NH bond becomes weak, hydrogen can be removed in the form of H plus, therefore it is acidic. Therefore acidic hydrogen ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it will be soluble in base. ನೋಡಿ, ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಅಮೈನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಅಮೈನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, when benzene sulfonyl chloride reacts with secondary amine, ಆಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ R ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ನೋ ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್, ಹೌದಾ? ಅಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಅಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ಯುಬಲ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ಕಲಿ. ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನು, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹಿನ್ಸ್ಬರ್ಗ್ಸ್ ರಿಯೇಜೆಂಟ್? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ benzene sulfonyl chloride is called Hinsberg's reagent. Okay, differentiate primary and secondary amines using Hinsberg's reagent ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Primary amines react with Hinsberg's reagent to form a product which is soluble in alkali. Secondary amines react with Hinsberg's reagent to form a product which is insoluble in alkali. ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಎಸ್, ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ 37 ಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. This is from biomolecules, right? 37 is from biomolecules. Write the Haworth structure of beta D glucopyranose. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಸಾರಿ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈಸ್ಯಾಕರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಡೈಸ್ಯಾಕರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ write the Haworth structure of beta D glucopyranose. What are fibrous proteins? Give examples, right? Name the base which forms hydrogen bond with adenine in double stranded helix structure of DNA ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. 2+2+1 type questions. First, Haworth structure of beta D glucopyranose. Pyranose 6 membered cyclic ring. This is pyranose. ಇದನ್ನ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಫರ್ಗೆಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಓ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು. ನೋಡಿ, ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಡಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋ ಪೈರನೋಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಬೀಟಾ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ನೋಡಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಸಿಕ್ಸ್ತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ CH2H ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 1,4,6 ನೋಡಿ, OH 2,3 ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, 1,4 OH ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ, 2,3 ಅಲ್ಲಿ OH ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಇದೆ. 1,4,6 2,3 ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇದು H, ಇದು H, ಇದು H, ಇದು H. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಡಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಪೈರನೋಸ್. ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಬೀಟಾ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೀಟಾ ಡಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಪೈರನೋಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ನೋ ದಿ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಡಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಪೈರನೋಸ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಬೀಟಾ. ಆಲ್ಫಾದಲ್ಲಿ OH group is below the plane over the anomeric carbon atom. This is anomeric carbon atom. Beta dalli OH group is above the plane over the anomeric carbon atom. Yes. What are fibrous proteins anta idu nodi. Fibrous proteins are the proteins which consist of linear thread-like polypeptide chains which are arranged to form yes, it is fibrous proteins which are arranged to form fibers, and the proteins are called as fibrous proteins. You know that the keratin is an example for fibrous proteins. So the fibroin in silk is that is collagen in tendons and myosin in muscles. They are all examples for fibrous proteins. Keratin in particular that is present in the hairs. Hairs ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಕೆರಾಟಿನ್. ನೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಕೆರಾಟಿನ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕೆರಾಟಿನ್ is an example for fibrous proteins. And name the base which form hydrogen bond with adenine in double helix structure of DNA. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, in DNA we have two nucleic acid chains. They are, that is coil to form a double helical structure. This is one nucleic acid chain, and of course this is another nucleic acid chain, and these nucleic acid chains are held together by hydrogen bonds between the bases. And of course, if I say there is a sequence of bases, there is a sequence of bases over the nucleic acid chains, and there is a, yes, it is that is the sequence of bases in one nucleic acid chain is complementary to the sequence of bases in the another. A always form a double 2 hydrogen bonds with thymine. Adenine always form a 2 hydrogen bonds with thymine. Guanine always form 3 hydrogen bonds with, yes, it is cytosine. Base pairing yavudu gottagutte? Base pairing takes place between adenine and thymine. There is a 2 hydrogen bonds. Guanine and cytosine, there are 3 hydrogen bonds. So this is ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಡೆನಿನ್ ಕೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ adenine forms 2 hydrogen bonds with thymine in DNA structure. Okay, na? This is what we call it as, that is 2 nucleic acid chains are held together by hydrogen bonds. Alva? A hydrogen bonds, so adenine always form 2 hydrogen bonds with thymine. Guanine always forms 3 hydrogen bonds with cytosine. So ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ತರ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್. Adenine forms hydrogen bond with thymine. So this is what we call it as the base that forms hydrogen bond with adenine. That completes the model paper 2. In the next video we'll see that model paper 3. As I said, I'm going to discuss 4 model papers. We finished 2 model papers. In the coming days, we'll finish remaining 2 model papers as early as possible. Thank you very much. And of course, you can download the notes of this particular SAT's discussion in the link provided in the SAT's description box of my video. Okay na? ಒಂದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆಗ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ? ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್. ಎಸ್.